This is going to be kind of like a basic summary financial projection tool. I update it as we go along with town meeting, as different items kind of come up, but this is basically going to give our FY25 budget for revenues and expenses, and then we look at projecting out 5 years with different variables, just to try to see where our over-under is for the end of each year. The top part is your tax levy. So again, you're looking at basics, your 2.5 increase. New growth, we have estimated 350 for FY25. I plugged in some higher numbers for the next 2 years, just as an estimate, with a few of the projects that are going on between the town square and potential with Market Basket. Again, this could change, so that's kind of highlighted in blue. In FY26 and 27. Our current debt exclusion is plugged in right now, and you'll see in FY27 it cuts drastically, and that's due to the KP debt coming off at the end of FY26, where we definitely have some room to absorb some of that levy that would be lost there. So I have the levy limit total, I have the levy ceiling, which is based on the full value of the town as a whole, and that's a number that we can't go over. We have a really healthy difference between our levy limit and our ceiling, which is great. The second and third columns, you'll see there's percentages for increase and decrease between FY24's recap and 25, so you can have an idea of what the budget difference is between those years. And then the next column, where for instance on this one it says 1%, that is a percentage that I have projected out for 26, 27, 28, 29. If I change one of those figures on my spreadsheet, it'll change the years going forward. So what I have projected out is very conservative, 1% increase for local receipts. Our current increase is only 3.46, so we're pretty close there. Cherry sheets, our current increase is only 2.02%. I've plugged in a 1%. Again, being conservative, although probably close to actual on those. FY26, we get hit with our first piece of that assessment, which is $920,000 for 26 and 27. It goes up to 1.1 for the next 2 years, and then 1.2 where it kind of settles. This number is also variable. It depends on the percentage of our assessment based on the number of students from Plainville. And so that's the number that we plug in, is what we have right now for our percentage, but that could change slightly depending on the number of students. That's a huge number to absorb in a matter of a year, and that's why I was pulling this up and working with Brian to bring this before people now, because we need to start coming up with a plan of how we want to cover whatever deficit we may have in future years. This is all forecasting. The numbers are not going to be exactly this when we come across the budget for FY26, but it's meant to be an eye-opener for people that that $900,000 assessment is really going to impact our overall budget for next year.
It's great to see this plan. I immediately jumped to the last page and want to figure out those red numbers real quick, and I want to know how much of them are real problems or problems that might happen, right? Problems we already know about, or problems that could happen. Anything could happen.
You want to always try to keep everything as level as possible and not go like this when you're trying to keep your budget balanced and you're looking at taxes for people. When that debt exclusion in after 26, so for 27 comes off, people's taxes could go down, and then all of a sudden, if you reauthorize a debt exclusion after that, they could go way up. We don't want to do that. We want to make life affordable for people and as level as possible. So it's a lot better financially to keep that debt exclusion about the same as it has been, so it can kind of keep riding like this for people instead of like that.
It's a good start, but we need to push on a lot of these numbers, because we can be smarter about some of them. If your eyes weren't open before, they need to be open now, that Tri-County and the potential water treatment plant are not in our current budget, and we need to figure out a plan, and it's going to take some work and to fund that.